Hi guitar mates, I have to start today's lesson with an apology. I was convinced that I'd already covered this song. It's only when a viewer sent me in a message asking if I could do a lesson on the track, I realised my error. How did I miss the Fugitive? Released back in '92 on the Fear of the Dark album. It's just such a great song to learn and play. So today, this grievous error will be rectified. Now, as usual, today's lesson has been brought to you by everyone who supports my channel over at guitarmates.com, where you will find ad-free, in-depth lessons, backing tracks, tabs, tips and techniques to improve your playing. And everyone who supports the channel for just $1 a day will have access to the tab, the backing track and the guitar profile for today's lesson. All the links you will find down below. So without any more delays, let's fix this error and let me show you how to play the Fugitive. Right, let's look at that opening riff, which I'm going to be calling the main riff, because it does get used throughout this song. So I'm just going to play it through and then we'll break it down. So it goes like this. So we start off with a D5 moving up to an E5, so you play the chord and then move up. Got one chug on the low E, back to an E5, two chugs, E5, two chugs, E5 again, two more chugs, and then we go to the G5, which is on the 10th fret, we go, and then we've got three of them, and we are going to be playing them one more open chug. So slow time. Okay, that's your first two bars. We go back and we repeat that opening line again. So we're doing exactly the same, that move up, one chug, E5, two chugs, E5, two chugs, E5, two chugs. Then we've got two F5s down to a D5, two more times down to the 5 fret. Again. Then we go back and we play our usual. Play that one, which is the one we showed at the beginning. Now, for the first time, we have this series of shifting down the A string using the power chords. And what I'm going to do, because if you see a power chord is always the same shape, I'm going to give you the information by looking at the fret number on the A string. So we do 7th fret, which is the E, 3 times. Move up 1 fret to the F, do that 3 times. Move down to the D, which is on the 5 fret, we play that 3 times. Move down to the C5, we play that 3 times. Then we do 2 on the B, 2nd fret, and then 2 on the A5 open string. So we go. That's the line there on that. Now, that is the 4-bar loop. we are going to start off the same on the next time, because we're going to play this this loop twice. So we go back and we do this. But the second time around, there is a change on this. We are going to start off the same. We do 3 on 7th fret on the E5, up to the F 3 times. This time we are going to go down to the C 3 times, up to the D 3 times, and then we do the C twice, down to the B twice. In fact, on the last one it's just one, because that's where it shifts out. So we get, and that takes you to the end of that opening riff using the main riff. And next section I call the break, just because the guitars get a little bit cleaner than what we were playing through that main riff. And we are playing this line. Now these are all sus2 chords. We have got, the first one is a B sus, but it's always going to be the same shape no matter where we move in on the fretboard. So what I've got there, I am playing the 2nd fret on the A string, and then I'm playing 4 on the D and 4 on the G. I'm also with the bar, I'm holding down that note there, where the 2nd fret. So we are moving from this B sus to, we're going to go from there to the C sus, which is just moving up 1 fret. So we go back and we do the B to the C to the D, back to the C, and then B to the C. That's your line, because you're just going to repeat the same thing. So we get, and then repeat that all over again. So that's the section that I am calling the break. And from there we go back to the main riff, which is that. Now this is the one that goes, that one. Where we going, everything's the same apart from where we go to the E5, 3 of them, to the F5, down to the C5, 3 of them, to the 5, 3 of them, and then we got the C, which is on 3rd fret, down to the B, or just 1. That is that main riff that I spoke about. From there we are into the first verse section. Verse 2 is played predominantly arpeggiating on a clean guitar. So I'm just going to go through the sequence for you and then we'll break it down. So it goes like this. At that point, that's when he changes back to the overdrive guitar. That is the full sequence for verse number 1. It is a repeated line though, apart from the shortened version right at the end. So what are we doing there? Well, key to this one is moving what this shape here, if you keep thinking of it as them sus2 chords that we played before, what we're doing, we are keeping the bulk of most of these chords. We are playing third finger on the 7. We start off on first finger on the 7 and the little finger on the 7 on the D and G, and we put our bar right across it. Tendency when you first look at this, you think, oh, he's playing an A minor chord, but he's not. It's more of a D sus2 chord with an A in the bass. Now, this picking pattern that we're doing on this, we are playing E, A, D, G string, and then we are going to play the B back to the G. So we get this. We take that shape, we move it all the way down 2 frets, so we're playing a C sus2 with a G in the bass, but it's the same picking pattern. Now, in a sense, the odd one out, we have an A minor now coming in, standard A minor, and you are picking A, D, G to the B. And then we go back G to the D. Now we are picking up our sus chords. The first one we're going to do, though, is a B flat sus2 chord. So we've got a bar on the first fret, and we are holding that. Then we have 2 fingers again on D3 and G3, and the picking pattern same as what we was doing before, but starting off on the A string. So we're doing A, D, G, B, and then back on the G to the D. We're going to play that twice. Move up 2 frets, so we're playing a C sus2. Move up 2 frets again, so we're playing a D sus2. We play that twice. Now at this point, we're going to repeat everything. Now, if you've been playing that with your bar across, we don't have to do any adjustment though. That's why when I play this, I put my finger right across all of the 6 strings, because then I can just go into that, which was the D sus. So I'm just changing the bass. So I'm getting that from that D. No movement. Move down. E A. B flat. B flat. C. D. Now I'm going to start again. The final one. Start off on that 5 position. Move down 2 frets. A to the B flat. Again to the C. Stop. Because that's which switches to the overdrive guitar, which is what we're going to check out right now. Now, what happens when we come out of that clean guitar? We finish off with an overdrive guitar for the final 2 bars over the E5, and he's playing this rhythm. So we've got D5, then 2 chugs on the D, back to a D5, 2 chugs, and then 2 chugs, 2 chugs, and then we get 1 to chug, like that. Now this part, we are into the main part of the rhythm or of the verse. It is playing through the same sequence that you was playing on that clean guitar. It's just without rhythm. So we are playing this line. Which is 1 bar on the D, down to the C for 1 bar, to the A5, 1 bar, then to the B flat for 2 bars, back up to the C, and then up to the D5 for 2 bars. Then we start all over again. So 1 bar on the D5, 1 bar on the C, 1 on the A, 2 on the B, 1 bar on the C. But on the last, when we go back to the D, there is a change. We are going to be playing this. So it's a bit hard to play this, a bit slower, but you're going. I think that was right. You've got the D5, 2 chugs, D5, 2 chugs, D5, 2 chugs, D5 again, 2 chugs. Then you're doing a C to a G, just moving down. And then you do an open E string. Technically, that is the end of that part going into the chorus, but you're going. It's probably easier to get into because you're going to go straight into the D5, which is the chorus part. So it's worth practicing that little part. And at that point, we are already in the chorus. So that is the rhythm that is played for the overdrive through the verses. Important I've said that because you are going to play that again through the verses using the exact same pattern. But now let's get into the chorus, which goes like this. Now, that is the entire chorus, but if you can see, it's the same progression, 4 bars played exactly the same. Remember when I said coming out of that verse, you're doing that. That was that line that I played at the end. So you get that, you're doing a D to a C, and then you're going to do this. Just playing after I've done the D to the C. And then we're going to do the same thing on the A. So I'll move down to the A5. And then I go to a B flat, 5. Then I'm doing an F to a G on the low E string. And then back. That's your line for the chorus. Trickiest part really is, as I said, is when you're coming into that where you're playing that 5 on the D5. That's the tricky part. Afterwards, it's relatively easy to play that chorus. So that is the standard chorus that we are going to use throughout this song. Now from there we go back to a normal overdrive verse, but we don't have them 2 bars at the beginning on the D5, so we're just going into the D5. You hear that? That is the same. So entire verse as we've seen before, without the 2 D5s at the beginning, and then straight into the chorus. Coming out of the chorus, we are into the first of the guitar solos. So what we're going to do now is look at what the rhythm guitar is playing behind the guitar solo. And right, one thing you will notice in these guitar solos, they keep changing the keys. So they are It's not too bad to play. The pattern that you're playing is fairly easy. It's just the chords, especially on one of them, is a very dramatic shift. We are starting off in the E5. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play through the sequence, and then we'll just break down exactly what's going on here. So we start off like this. Right, so what we're doing there, we are starting off on a 7 and 7 on the A and the D string, and you're going to play that. And then you're going to put your finger down. I use my little finger, there's a reason for this. For the remainder of the bar, I'm going to put my little finger down on the 9, so I'm just playing an E5 chord. So you go this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then, this is why the little finger, move up to the 10th fret on the D string. I'm going to play that 3 times. And then I go back to my 7/7 for the remainder bar. And then I repeat. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to move down 2 frets. So I'm on the 5 position. I'm going to play exactly the same riff, but down on the 5 fret. Now, this is where it sounds real strange on the record. You move down 1 fret. Now, this one is only going to go on the first bar, but we don't have the extension up. You're just going to stay on that. So you get this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3. Like that. Then we go back up to our 7th fret. We do the exact same thing as we did before. Move down to the 5th fret, do exactly the same. Now, this one, the final one, we are going to go across on the D and the G string on 6 and 8. And we're going to play the exact same patterning down here, where you get this. Like that. So. And that is the end of the first solo as far as the rhythm guitarist is concerned. And from that part, you go back to the main riff again. Right, the first part of the solo is the break. But part of it at the beginning on the clean guitar, which was going like this. Play that one. There is a slight variation on the second one though. Doesn't go any further than that. So you can see that in the tab. Then we've got this little fun riff, kind of reminiscent of the days of Bon Jovi, this one. But we have this riff. And it goes like this, 1. Now the reason I put that 1 is because you're picking it up on the upbeat. The lick itself, you are playing 7/5 on the A string, cross to the 7 on the E. Then you've got a 5/7, 5/7 again. Then we have got a 5 on the D, and then 5/7 on the A. Sorry, 7/5 to the 7. Then we've got a 5 on the A, and then we've got a 7/5 all on the lead. On the low E string. So you got this 1. Now you're going to play that 3 times. On the 4th time, you get a change. You start off exactly the same, but instead of going to the open E, you're going to go to a C. So you get this 1. From that, you're going from the C5, you do a D5 to an E. Repeat. Now you stay on the E5 and you're going to play this because again it changes the feel of the key. You do this, you're doing an E5. So you go in an F sharp, which is on the 9th fret, to an an A flat on the 11th fret. So you get repeat. So that little section there on the chords. And that is the rhythm guitar through the second solo. Coming out of the second solo, we then go back to our normal overdrive verse. We do a chorus straight after the verse, normal chorus. Then we go back to our main riff and we're going to play that main riff until the close. It just keeps on going round until we get to the close. So I believe you're playing that 8-bar main riff twice. And that is the end of the song. That's all of the rhythm guitar parts covered for this song.